As we take a look at some Farmgate pricing from this week, and action around the nation has strong years ahead for fibre. There's been that big slump, albeit we had some strong fibre prices with wool, particularly about 3 years ago. Cattle prices continue to perform strongly. Livestock volumes continue to fall at markets, and prices drop as leaner stock comes onto the market, while others, where the fattened up areas, the more grassed areas, they've seen plenty of cattle come out of the paddock. Eastern Young Cattle Indicator has fell slightly on the previous indicator. It's an average cattle price down about 1.93 cents, or at 858.75 cents. That's still up 91.96 cents on the same time last year, but it is a bit of a fall, and that's probably what we're expecting as we start seeing restocking and heading into the colder months. Yearling steer numbers have improved slightly. They've been up 4.25 cents, but all other indicators have been relatively steady, still slightly up on a year ago. Sheep indicators remain down on the same time a year ago, again falling slightly in all categories except light lamb. That's been up 14 cents to 8.45 cents across the nation on average. Restocker lambs stand at 965 cents. And that's pretty reasonable going. According to the Federal Department of Agriculture, livestock prices across the board have fallen around 1 to 3%. Now, the biggest fall have been pigs down 357 cents and goats 813 cents respectively. And our pig volumes are expected to remain steady with the future years. And the real terms, despite a projected fall in consumption, according to ABARES, export values are expected to peak this year at 143 million, then fall in 2021-22 and start climbing steadily to $140 million in 25-26. And ABARES' projection for the March quarter show chicken slaughtering is expected to be up to 678 million, and strong production figures expected at 1,327 KT per CW. And dairy continues to enjoy improvements in processor prices at the Farmgate, and a huge jump in whole milk powder prices, up 21%, with the US dollar at 4,364 per tonne, and skim milk is up 3%. That's not too bad either. The ABARES projects that the Farmgate milk prices are 47.9 cents per litre this financial year and 48.8 in the next financial year, and that'll steadily rise to 49 cents a litre for farmers in 25-26. ABARES also believes export volumes of butter, cheese, skim milk powder and whole milk powder are projected to fall strongly in that time. Now, this is quite interesting because by about 50% on the powder type, and also those whole type products of butter and cheese. And I suppose that when it gets to those, there's some import pressure on Australia, and there will be, I think, when you start thinking of free trade agreements with the United Kingdom or Europe. But the latest New South Wales Department of Primary Industry data shows wheat has been steady at 310 per tonne. Barley is about 0.8% up, and that's at 240 per tonne. Sorghum at 320 per tonne. And these prices compare with ABARES' estimated release for March 2021. And with the milling wheat prices for Port Adelaide, they're up in the latest data by 1%. That's $361 per tonne Australian, and feed wheat at $358 per tonne. Prices, however, remain down on the same time for 2 years ago. Feed barley for Port Adelaide up 2% at $310 per tonne, well above the ABARES projected nationwide of $243 and long-range projections. But then again, barley seems to be going not so bad even with that Chinese export issue. Quick look at wool, however, then the latest Western market indicator at 1,306 cents a kilogram. If you head then through to the Melbourne pricing, you see that the headline wool figure stands at 1,309 cents for the 21 micron in Melbourne. That's up 1%. ABARES projects wool value going forward to be a substantial increasing item, climbing almost double the value to 2025-26, despite the volumes only being expected to increase by 10%. Gee, if that's the case for wool growers, they would be very excited. I'm a little bit more circumspect, I think. Wool certainly dropped down to some pretty low values, but gee, if we were talking about back to those $20 a kilo for the pretty good quality wool, then I think everyone would be very excited.